Brand is a seed and demand generation is harvesting. Can you have a plant without a seed?
Absolutely. Do you think that marketers today have been struggling to connect brand efforts to the business outcomes?
That is because of this entire last click model. Companies are only looking at that last click conversion. What we are forgetting is that there is a big funnel before that.
You mentioned about dark funnel.
And this funnel is about social conversations. It's about peer conversations.
Right.
It's about reviews, which a buyer is exposed to and goes through before that last click.
Why do B2B brands, are so obsessed with performance marketing?
Now, the obsession is only because we don't have tools, we don't have the mindset to actually capture the whole journey. Quickly, let's see what the returns are. It's a very myopic way of looking at it.
Hello everyone and welcome to the B2B Marketing Podcast presented by B2B Marketing Association, powered by Brand Story Digital. I am your host Saikat Das Mohanty. Brand marketing has always been about top funnel, which is driving awareness. However, when it comes to revenue conversations, it's owned by demand generation, sales or performance marketing teams. But in today's scenario where buyers are well informed and smarter, do brands need to stand out to win the mindshare and trust of the buyer? To unpack this, we are joined by a marketing leader with more than 2 decades of experience across brand, consumer and retail marketing, energy management with established brands like Intel, Google, Cafe Coffee Day and Schneider Electric. Please welcome Bidisha Nagaraj, Global Vice President Marketing at Schneider Electric Home Solutions. Welcome to the show, Bidisha.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here for this great topic. It's actually a very relevant, highly debatable.
Yes.
But it's good that we are having this discussion.
Yes, absolutely. That's great to have you here and we're excited to hear some really interesting thoughts from you. But before we get into our conversation, Bidisha, you have worked with multiple brands, starting from consumer brands, large tech brands, and also a lot of the B2B brands, which is Schneider Electric currently that you are there. So a quick question for you. If brand marketing was a movie character, what would that be in your mind and why?
Brand marketing across B2B and B2C?
Across, anywhere, it's okay.
I think the topic is about marketing.
Yes.
Right? When we talk about brand marketing, it's very confusing. I don't think there's anything called brand marketing. I mean, there is a branding topic of companies, right? You talk about brand architecture, brand hierarchies. That's a very different topic, right? And how that manifests itself in terms of the logo, in terms of the brand language, in terms of the look and feel, in terms of the colors, in terms of the fonts, and how we can make it consistent across geographies, across markets. I don't think brand marketing is something that I can, I would say, can be a character.
Yeah.
But marketing per se is, I would say, the leading force for any brand.
Yeah.
It is what sort of dictates the business today. And the beauty of it is, it also is has a great sort of roadmap into the future.
Yeah.
I would say amongst all our Indian film actors, or I would say cricketers in today's business, because there's IPL, I think marketing is equal to Virat Kohli.
Oh.
Absolutely, because he is agile, he's brave, he creates eyeballs.
Yeah.
He has been around for so many years.
Yeah.
He is the backbone of the Royal Challengers Bangalore team.
Yeah.
And that's what marketing is.
Yes.
Marketing is always the backbone
Yes.
of a company.
Correct. Very, very well said. And I think Virat Kohli, if you're saying as a character for marketing, I think it very well resembles. Good start to our conversation.
Yes.
So let's get into some more understanding of, and let's try to break some of the myths. The first myth or other myth that has always been there is that brand or a branding campaign does not drive revenue. Okay. But when we look at from a buyer's perspective, okay, a buyer always sees a brand as one. Okay, they don't see it's a branding campaign or it's a performance marketing campaign. They see it's one brand, one voice, one communication. Okay, and that's there in their mind. However, we as marketers probably have kind of said, okay, no, there is branding separate, there is revenue marketing separate, or there is performance marketing separate. In that scenario, do you think that marketers today or marketers have not been able to or have been struggling to connect brand efforts to the business outcomes? Do you think that's one of the cases where the gap is?
Right. So I think, there are different paths to it.
Yeah.
Okay. The first part that and since I've handled the entire journey,
Yeah.
right, from building a brand to demand generation,
Yeah.
to demand capture, to revenues, etc. This is a topic that I've been thinking a lot about over the years, and I feel that yes, it is a much talked about topic amongst CFOs in companies, CEOs in companies, saying what is marketing really driving?
Yes.
Is it a cost center?
Yeah.
Or is it really a productivity revenue center? I think, in my view, I want to start with why is this myth there? Why are people thinking the way they are? And that is because of this entire last click model that's come up, right? The entire MQL model of marketing qualified leads, drives revenue. Why? Because it's the last click which converts your entire business.
Yeah.
Right? People are only looking at, or companies are only looking at that last click conversion. What we are forgetting is that there is a big funnel before that.
Yes.
I read a report by Gartner, a B2B report, which had a very interesting term, and they called this entire funnel before the last click to be the dark funnel.
Ah.
Okay? Now, dark not in a negative term, but dark because it's not well exposed.
Yeah.
And this funnel is about social conversations. It's about peer conversations.
Right.
It's about reviews. It's about all of that which a buyer is exposed to and goes through before that last click.
Absolutely.
Why are we not looking at that? There's also another challenge which perhaps we marketeers need to address, which is about taxonomy and language, right? If you look at demand generation, there are CPM, CPLs, there's NPS, there's CNPS. All of them are revenue driven.
Yes.
Cost per impression.
Correct.
Cost per lead, right? There's a cost attached.
Yes.
On the other hand, if you look at our brand metrics,
Yeah.
brand metric is share of voice, spontaneous awareness, unaided awareness, etc., etc. Now, none of them have really a revenue or a cost angle to it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So I think there is that work also needs to be done.
There's that gap is there.
Yes, because when you talk about brand, you're talking about share of voice, you're talking about tell me the cost, tell me the measurement, right?
And how does that SOV translate into a revenue is probably still
exactly.
not. Yeah.
So I think my recommendation for all of us would be to try and see how do we take the outcomes of brand and connect them to the channels and the cost,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We need to do that work.
Yeah.
Because that's a very easy work when you do the performance marketing, which
Correct.
is the entire demand generation, because
Yeah.
the model is there.
The model is there, yes.
In brand, that model is not very revenue driven, but we need to get there.
Correct.
Because if you look at, in fact, I look at this brand versus demand generation. The analogy that I'd like to do, I'd like to associate with brand versus demand generation is the association of seeds versus harvesting, right? Brand is a seed, and demand generation is harvesting.
Correct.
Can you have a plant without a seed?
No,
You can't.
absolutely. Yeah.
So why do we ever think about the fact that, oh, we've seen the plant, it's beautiful, it's reaping me fruits? Wait a minute. Where does it come from?
Correct.
If there was no foundation of the seed, which is our brand, you would never have a healthy plant.
Absolutely.
And if you don't water the seed, if you don't look after the seed, where are you going to get a healthy plant? This is the association we need to keep in mind when we talk about brand and demand generation.
Right. Got it.
Would you agree?
Yeah, kind of. I do agree that, and I myself I'm a very big advocate of brand, because I believe branding really helps in driving a lot of things for growth also.
Absolutely. In fact, if you look at a strong brand, okay, or a strong brand work, or in fact, I've been thinking about changing the word brand to demand creation, and then demand capture.
Yeah.
And then we go to companies and we talk to the CFO and we talk to the CEOs and say, no, what are you talking about brand? We're talking about demand capture.
Creation and demand
capture. Demand creation and demand capture.
Capture, yes.
If that wording changes, believe me, this debate may have a very different turn.
Yes.
There is no brand team.
Yeah, there is no
There
brand.
is a demand capture team.
Yes, absolutely.
And that demand capture team has various channels of communication, of conversations, of debates, of all of that. I feel we need to start thinking that way.
Yeah.
Because it is a big stress in companies where the marketing team continuously has to convince the CFO, the CEO as to why there needs to be investment in a brand.
Correct.
But if somebody can prove through numbers, through data, and it can be proved that the CACs are lower. Customer acquisition cost, actually, if you have a strong brand campaign and strong brand work, which leads to your final conversion of MQL, the CAC is lower.
Absolutely. That it will eventually be low because people know the brand. Yes.
It will eventually be lower. Your ability and capability to have to command a price premium is much better if you have a strong brand and a lot of strong brand work. Your sales cycle, your sales cycle is going to be much shorter.
Yes.
Because people, again, I love to read some of Gartner's reports, and they've very clearly established that it's only 17% of buyers who are engaging with future vendors, etc., to close the deal. But 83% are actually having a conversation around the brand, about its efficiencies, about its equity, about what it can do to me, what it can't do to me, who is the competition. That's where the conversation is.
Correct.
Right? So I think it's a good debate, but I think it's a debate that can very well be addressed, like I said, in so many different ways. Either call it, name it differently, measure it differently, have a direct correlation to revenues of the company, and then we see things change.
Great. I kind of agree with you on this, because that actually also brings to my next point, which is brands impacting pipeline revenue.
Yeah.
And this is exactly the same thing that I was also talking about. You mentioned about the
Dark funnel?
Dark funnel. You mentioned about the dark. In fact, I was having a chat with few of the leaders a couple of days back, and we also discussed the same thing. And this dark funnel concept or the dark funnel thing is very, very real, because buyers are because there's so much of content today available. The buyers are already decided on.
Absolutely.
And they have already researched about you. They have they know, okay, I want to only work with this brand, and that is very, very true. And if we are not able to capture that, I think that's where the problem is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we are being able to capture it. Because remember, this dark funnel impacts the revenue of the product
Yes.
or the company
Yeah.
upstream.
Yeah,
And MQL and conversion is downstream.
correct.
But it is for us now to see, how do I prove through data that this upstream work that we're doing to gradually convert a customer or a consumer over months, over years, actually is going to give us a much, much better quality of revenue.
Correct. Correct.
You know, it's not about, it's not, imagine you don't have, think about it, you don't have any brand work. Nobody knows your brand, but you're running a promotion
Yeah.
of buy one, get one free, right? What do you think? People will react to it once. They will buy it once because there's something which is 1,000 rupees is now coming to me at 100 rupees. It's
Right.
Diwali time.
Correct.
I'll buy it.
Correct.
That's it. It's transactional. It's one time. You've lost the customer after that.
Correct.
You're not going to come get them back. So the
Correct.
quality of revenue is also very important.
Absolutely.
It's not being sticky enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So, agree. Completely agree. It's not sticky because, you know, when you do those shorter things, it really doesn't work. You know, it will give you that uplift immediately. But I think we have also seen the kind of MQLs when you get in that kind of a thing. You might have got 100 MQLs, out of it probably 1 or 2% would be the relevant one.
Exactly.
Rest all is, you know, is not even relevant
Yeah.
for us. Yeah. So from that context, now that now you have worked in consumer brands also. Now consumer brands do this very well. They
Very
have
well.
understood it very well, and they do it really, really well. Now let's come to B2B brands. Now specifically, why do B2B brands, you know, are so obsessed with performance marketing? Why do they not think? There are very few brands who do it very well, but probably a lot of them are very, very obsessed with performance marketing. Why do you think, you know, that's the kind of mindset
I
there?
think a couple of reasons. One is, I think B2B, the buying cycle of a B2B product is much, much longer than a consumer product,
Yeah.
right? In some cases, in Schneider Electric, we've seen the gestation period is about 2 years,
Yeah.
right? In the case of home, the division that I work for, which is selling switches and smart products at home, etc., the gestation time is slightly smaller,
Yeah.
shorter. Now, the thing is that the reason I think for B2B companies where the gestation period is so long, it is much easier to look at that last mile. It's much easier.
Yeah.
Right, to say that, okay, we put in you know $10,000 in this. Quickly, let's see what the returns are. It's a very myopic way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Very, very myopic. What is $10,000 going to give you? I'm just making this up.
Yeah.
See, typically, in a good B2B brand budget, marketing budget, I would say 60% should be brand building.
Yeah.
40% should be animation.
Right.
But what happens is that quite often towards the end of the quarter, there's a lot of pressure on revenues, etc. What is the easiest thing to cut? Brand budget.
Yeah.
That 60% becomes 20%.
20% and the rest.
And then you increase your animation budget. Now the obsession is only because we don't have tools, we don't have the mindset, we don't have the hunger to actually capture the whole journey. Can we do it? Yes, we can. But then for that, the whole top management needs to work together. It's
Yeah.
not just the marketing
Marketing teams.
No.
Yeah.
It has to be the sales head, it has to be the CFO, it has to be the CEO, it has to be product heads, it has to be the marketing team, all working together
Yeah.
to look at where is this closure coming from?
Yeah.
Where did the journey start?
Yeah.
Most B2B companies and brands, don't have the tools to measure the whole journey of
Yeah.
years together,
Yeah.
right? That needs to be established.
And probably they've not invested in that kind of a.
Yes, yeah, because at the end of the day, let's also be very clear. A lot of B2B companies believe that it's that final sales person who has
Yeah.
closed the deal.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be very honest about it. But if you talk to the salesperson will tell you, these days it's getting very difficult to sell any B2B product if it's not a known brand.
Yes.
The salesperson will tell you.
Yeah.
It's getting very difficult.
Yeah.
We have developed so much of conversation, it's called the sales conversation tools in Schneider, to be able to enable the salesperson to first start with a brand pitch and then move on to why am I here, what is the product,
Correct.
what are the advantages. So I think the reason is that it's a long cycle,
It's a long cycle, yes.
right? We need to establish tools, methodologies to capture the entire cycle, to look at bounces, to what extent after my brand work has got people, but when have they bounced back?
Yeah.
What have they? That is something which we establish on the web, right?
Yeah.
We have enough tools now to see the bounce rates,
Yeah.
the place that they're spending the most amount of time in,
Right.
the conversions, etc., the journeys, etc. So I think to answer your question, the intent of B2B companies is there to look at brand, because remember, the brand is also a great ammunition for the CEO of the company,
Yes.
right? So there is a lot of appetite and hunger to do a lot of brand work. But yeah, the final conversion and the last click conversion, I would say, is the spoiler
Yeah.
for this entire thing.
So I agree to your point here. There is a lot of scope, and I think there is
Yeah.
a lot of things that can be done. But when we look at B2B brands, and as you said, the sales team have their own targets. They have their own accounts to go after. They go after them, they close the deal, and the revenue is met, right? So where does the brand therefore come in? And as you said, brand or marketing really helps in building that trust for the brand and that visibility for the brand. Okay, so why only focus on the short term is because brands today only focus on the short term. Okay, quarter is getting over, I need to get those MQLs done, let me get those MQLs, I do a short campaign, get those MQLs, and I'm out. And that's where I think a lot of B2B brands are focusing on.
Look, it's not wrong.
Yeah,
It's
not wrong.
It's not wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing charity. Everybody's here into with a revenue mindset, with a growth mindset. Salaries have to be paid of employees.
Yeah.
The company has to keep running.
Yeah.
So I don't think that approach is a wrong approach.
It's not.
However, I think we need to take a step back and said, yes, that's important, and we have to do it. We have to do more of it.
Yeah.
You know this better. When we do performance marketing, we look at top of the funnel, we look mid funnel, we look at bottom, and we create communication, for each level.
Yes.
Because today Meta and companies like Meta have very beautiful algorithms, right?
Correct.
That pushes you through the funnel.
Correct.
To keep feeding you with communication over and over again as you move into the funnel. So I don't think it's wrong, but I think companies have to start looking at the future. Have to.
Yeah.
Can the future be built with just that one demand generation campaign? No. We need to look at, like I said, change the word brand to demand capture.
Yeah.
We need to start looking at demand capture, moving to demand closure. Right? So I don't think it's wrong, but yes, we are running a business, we need to do it. But like I love the analogy of seed and harvesting.
Yeah.
if you don't have a strong seed,
Yes.
then your harvest is not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, overnight, I mean, you can get a ready-made apple tree and put it in your garden with apples hanging,
It'll die.
but it'll die.
Yeah.
Because, so I think it's not wrong, but I think we need to definitely take a step back, prove it through data
Yes.
to the finance team, to the product team, to the sales team, saying that this is the role a brand plays.
Yes.
And that's a lot of research needs to be done.
Yes.
A lot of conversations with customers need to be done
Yes.
to prove that.
that, yes.
I think somewhere we've forgotten the beautiful discipline of research because everybody is in a hurry to close things. I think stopping and having conversations with customers, through group studies and look, today you can do this through on the internet. I mean, we do so many researches, quick researches before campaign launches, etc., with customers, and we get such brilliant insights.
Right.
So we need to continue that.
Yes.
And like I said, that there are different ways of sort of looking at this
Correct.
challenge.
Got it. So what I'm hearing is, therefore, we need to continue, harvesting the seed that we have. Continue to give it that
The focus, the drive
throughout the year.
Yes.
And that's where I think the long term versus short term comes in, because long term is where brand comes in, and you keep on building that brand, and that helps you build that trust for the consumer and the customer. And short term is where your spikes happen, in small
absolutely.
ones, which helps you grow.
Like I said, it's a brand is your compounded foundation.
It's a compound, absolutely.
Okay, it's a foundation that will keep compounding over and over and over again.
Yes.
Right. Now, I'm not here. Let's not get carried away by saying let's do these mega brand campaigns, etc. No,
It's not about that.
it's not about that. It's about your brand salience.
Yeah.
And today there are so many ways to do brand salience.
Yeah.
And I will talk about an example of Schneider Electric. I feel where I was personally involved in and drove it is a great example.
So
You
maybe
know,
we can
I
start
will. When you talk about examples, I want to talk about two examples, right?
Yeah.
One is a brand that we all love,
there.
Apple.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, think about Apple without the brand and the brand work that they've done. Take that away.
Yeah.
What remains? A commoditized hardware,
Yeah.
right? A commoditized hardware that can never garner a great price premium,
Yeah.
that can never garner a certain equity, etc. So Apple is a classic example of they built the brand alongside the product.
Yes.
Both went together.
Yeah.
That is the right way.
Yeah.
But extricate the brand from the product, it's a hardware.
It's hardware.
It's a commoditized hardware. So that, to me, I always go back to the seed and harvesting example, and Apple, I think, is a great example of the amount of, and they didn't do brand campaigns and stuff like that, but they built the brand at the back of an extremely strong product.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah.
The other, I would like to talk about it at Schneider Electric in India. This was the time where we said, is there a different way of looking at selling our products? Our automation products, our energy efficiency products, our data centers products, etc. Is there products that go into airports, products that go into hotels, hospitals, etc. Is there a different way of selling it, etc., or marketing it? We said, can we look at a brand-led demand generation opportunity? A brand-led.
Brand-led, okay.
Okay? Now, this was something called Green Yodha.
Yeah.
Now, Green Yodha is a sustainability, I would say, a movement that Schneider Electric drove, asking consumers, policymakers, governments, companies to come forward and address the topic of energy efficiency, which is so important today, right? Climate, energy efficiency. Now, we didn't do that through, running a PLC campaign, with an MQL, etc.
No.
Yeah, I mean, that was done.
That was done, yeah.
But we said, is there a way by which we can convert perception of Schneider Electric being a mere electricity vendor, etc., to a trusted energy transition partner,
Yeah.
to a trusted advanced technology partner,
Yeah.
right? Energy technology partner. Now, that can't happen just by saying my PLC is better than yours or my MCB is better than yours.
Yeah.
No.
No.
So the Green Yodha movement actually got all these bodies of people to say, oh my God, as a company, as a home, in my government policy, I don't have anything for energy, I don't have anything for climate. So it was a movement. Green Yodha is a sustainability movement that got everybody together to say that, yes, I take a pledge as a representative of my company to say everything I do in my company is going to be with an energy efficiency lens.
Right.
Now, what happened? This is not a brand campaign, this is a movement.
There's a movement, yes.
Right? Now, that movement is not through a campaign. That movement, in fact, the first year drove about close to 10 million or more users to come together to find out more. Okay? Now, what happened after that is interesting. After that, doors suddenly started opening to these big segments and sectors
Right.
to say, I'm interested. Can you tell me more?
Correct.
And then we started getting testimonials from people who actually bought energy efficiency products
Right.
to say that, yes, this has worked in my company. I've managed to save 10x gigahertz of energy, and
Wow.
therefore has impacted my revenues and my
Right.
bottom line.
Right.
Right? So then it moved, after this Green Yodha movement, it moved to the next stage in the funnel, which is of testimonials. And then it led to a lot of interesting demand,
Yeah.
solid demand of people who came into Schneider Electric buying one product, but then they started saying, okay, automation is also important.
Yeah.
MCBs are important, these switches are important. So this is a classic example. I feel that it's not, now how did we pitch it to our
Yeah.
CFOs and CEOs?
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't pitch it saying, okay, this is a campaign that's going to start selling products.
Right.
We pitched it saying, we need to turn Schneider Electric's perception in India from A to B. Now, perception changing is something that everybody bites.
Right.
Right? Because it's the equity of your brand.
Correct.
It's what every employee wears on their sleeves. It's what every employee wakes up to.
Correct.
Now, when we started having that conversation, then they came back saying, it's a great idea that we're entering the doors of companies through a very interesting way.
Yeah.
It's not a top down.
Yeah.
It's by saying, come join us.
Yes.
And we do it together.
Correct.
So this is an example I love, because I think this is a classic example of a brand-led demand generation movement leading to commercial success.
Correct.
It's not just about a brand campaign and then you say, okay, but where are the SOVs and what are the spontaneous recalls? No.
No.
There was none of that. The movement started getting people, millions of people together, and then we started seeing doors being opened.
Yeah.
Started with windows being open,
Yeah.
moved to doors being open, and then demand started coming in.
Correct. Correct.
So I think when we look at this entire journey through different lenses and not through a traditional lens of let's do a brand campaign and then measure the brand campaign and then let's look at product, that formula has to change.
Right.
Because that formula then leads to this whole debate about brand versus demand generation.
I think great examples. I agree with both of them. I've myself been a little bit part of Green Yodha,
Yes,
because
of
Green
course.
Yodha, I think you started and it was a very long time. I was at the very end and being a little part of
Yeah.
it, and I know how it really has, created the equity for Schneider Electric in
Yeah,
in
I mean,
India.
when you again, I go back to this. Just because it's a B2B company
Yeah,
doesn't mean that emotionality doesn't play a role.
yeah,
That's wrong.
yeah,
Green Yodha is a classic example of how when you instill an emotion in a person or a company, you see the magic.
right.
The other example you've worked on is the 100 Years of MCB
Yes,
campaign,
yes.
right? It's an MCB in your home.
Yeah,
It's an MCB in your home, which is which nobody knows where it is,
Yeah.
what it does, but it's the most important element in your home. A device that powers your home, powers
Right.
your emotion. Now, we didn't start selling MCBs. We didn't say, okay, buy an MCB. We started saying,
let's celebrate him.
let's celebrate.
Yeah.
And then we know that people came and said, oh my God, I didn't even know this existed in my house. And if this is not there, my house is a darkness.
Great.
So there are different examples.
And I think you also kind of covered this part, which I wanted to ask you: how do you communicate with your CMOs and CFOs? I think what I understood from the conversation and how you have done it is probably is to not just go and talk about how brand is going to impact revenue, but I think it's also important for the CMOs and the CFOs and the CEOs to actually understand that how a brand can actually open doors for us. Let's forget the brand revenue, that probably that will come, but how does it open the doors for us is what, and that is what the Green Yodha movement did for Schneider.
yeah.
It opened the doors, and then
Yeah.
people started coming in.
I think our global CMO, when she started, and I just joined then, she started with this exact debate, saying, do we really need a brand department? Do we need brand? What does it do to us? And she created this model called brand to order.
Yes.
Right? Now, brand to order, again, see, she did not, and I love the way she drove this entire thing. She did not talk about, Mr. Chairman or Mr. CEO, can you give me $10 million to promote the brand? That wasn't, we go wrong there.
Yeah.
We start with the budget.
Correct.
She started by saying that everything that we do to promote our brand, we need to track to see, has it moved into an opportunity. Brand to order was how every single brand investment leads to a one opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that's the kind of conversation we need to start with. It's not about budgets. It's not about KPIs.
Yeah.
It's not about trying to fundamentally explain to people 101 of marketing. No, it's not that. It is that we all have a shared challenge of what is the future of your company, future of your brand. The minute you start looking at 5 years hence, 7 years hence, 10 years hence, and not looking at, okay, let's look at to the end of the year, the entire mindset changes. And then you say, what do I need to do today to capture, increase, grow my market share in the market? Because then it's not about today.
Correct.
And like I said, demand generation, demand conversion today is very important, but backed by a fundamental foundation of a brand that just a little bit of work naturally starts compounding over and over again.
Yeah.
Why? Not because you're plowing in that much of budgets, because every customer is talking about it.
Correct.
That is the impact of compounding.
That's the impact of compounding. Absolutely.
You start with small, but you impress customers so much that they become the ambassadors of your brand.
That's great, and I think very, very interesting points, Bidisha, that you mentioned. So my key take, I think, is very clear that And I will take that analogy that you mentioned, the seed and the harvest. I think that's marketing. And let's not talk brand marketing. Marketing is the right seed, and if you reap it well, it will harvest great results for you at the end. I think that's what I would take as a-
Absolutely. I think, no, I would say one thing, Saikat. I would say the seed and the plant together is marketing,
It's together marketing. Yes.
because it's finally the fruits that
Yes.
you bear,
Yeah.
that people consume.
Yes.
The whole structure is marketing.
Yes. The whole structure. Is marketing.
And that's why it is such an important function in a company, and that's why I gave the analogy of Virat Kohli, because it requires patience, it requires agility, it requires the whole company to be rallying behind you, and finally the proof of the pudding is in the fruit itself.
Correct. And therefore brand and demand generation cannot be separate. They're all
No,
together.
like I
It
said,
has-
change the name of the brand team.
Make it different.
Call it demand capture
Demand
team.
capture team. Yeah.
This is the demand capture team. This
Yeah.
is the demand fulfillment
Absolutely.
team.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you see that suddenly there's a very different
Yeah.
mood in the company.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Completely agree with that, Bidisha. I think great points. Now, before we close, a few one-line quick rapid-fire questions for you. Okay. Is performance marketing making B2B brands forgettable?
No, I don't agree.
Okay. Is trust becoming the biggest competitive advantage in B2B?
Yes. Yes.
So trust is very, very important.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. In this AI-driven future that we are right now, where everything is AI, the data, and all of that, can a weak brand survive? Where where in a market where every product probably looks similar?
Weak brand, yes, weak brand can survive at the back of AI, at the back of understanding how AI can be a great tool for marketing without spending big monies on performance marketing.
That's a great point. Okay. Thank you so much, Bidisha, for your insights. I think great perspective, very different, and it's very interesting to know those. Now, before we go, I just wanted to talk about B2B Marketing Association. You must have heard and you must have seen in some of our posts that we're doing, and our mission is obviously to get innovators, decision makers, from the community to come together, collaborate, learn, and grow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. What are your initial thoughts when you heard about the association? What do you think, and where do you think how it can help the community?
I was very impressed because I was a speaker in your Bangalore
Yeah,
event. I think the sessions were very, very, very informative. I also feel there was a big conversation about AI and the role of agentic, the roles AI agents play in the future of marketing. I think there were some great examples of data-driven marketing. So I think it's a great. The association is should do focus on how B2B marketing can become the torchbearer of marketing itself.
Okay.
Because today, if you see, it's really the B2C companies that hog
Yeah,
that.
yeah, absolutely.
If you look at the Cannes Awards, etc. I mean, the shiny, glitzy examples are all from B2C.
Yes, absolutely,
companies,
yes,
right? But we work together in a lot of very interesting B2B campaigns, and like I said that. That's not true. B2C companies, are not should not only be the torchbearers of marketing for. But I think this is where, but I think the challenge is higher on a B2B company
Yes.
because the gestation periods are so long.
Yeah.
Decision making is so
So
long that the challenge as a marketeer, because I've worked in B2C and B2B, the challenge for a B2B marketeer is much more harder because your budget tends to run out
Right.
because your gestation period is 2 years.
Yeah.
Your gestation period is not 2 months.
Yeah.
And what do you do? How do you keep the ball rolling to make sure that the work, the interesting work that you start in a brand actually leads to conversion?
Right.
Even if the dropouts happen, how do you get them back? I mean, we know through SFMC, etc.,
Yes.
Salesforce Marketing Cloud, there's so many examples of very strong SFMC campaigns that have got customers dropped out, but we've got them back
Yeah.
into the journey.
Right.
So I feel, to be honest with you, this association needs to, has a lot of work to do.
Yes.
Through examples, through data, but I also feel that the people who come for these events and the people whom you invite for for your podcast should not just be marketing people. Get the CEOs,
Okay.
get the CFOs.
Okay.
Let's get their perspective.
Okay. That's a new perspective.
I think
interesting.
that's going to be, then you are making a dent.
Correct.
But I think it's great work. I think it's great work you guys are doing, and thank you for having me today, and really good luck for the future.
Okay, thank you so much, Bidisha. Thanks for sharing all the insights and
Thank you.
and good ideas for the association. I think our endeavor is to also build something like that. Thank you for tuning in to B2B Marketing Podcast. Join us at the B2B Marketing Associations for more such conversations, white papers, research by industry leaders. Thank you.
The best B2B conversations don't just happen only on podcasts. They happen in rooms filled with industry leaders. Join the B2B Marketing Association and reserve your seat at the next B2B World Summit in your city.